A lot of large estates here, but also lots of little farms dotted around the Cotswolds. And according to DEFRA statistics, the average size of a farm holding in England is 213 acres. And these days that sounds pretty modest, but the average is brought down by tiny farms, like the one run by Olivia James and her partner Henry Allinson. On less than an acre on a wet and windy hillside between Exmoor and Dartmoor, they've set up a productive market garden where they grow more than 50 varieties of organic vegetables. Claire Salisbury asked Olivia for a virtual tour.
I'm just walking into our main growing polytunnel right now. It's pretty hot. I need to open the side vents, which I haven't opened yet, even though it's mid-morning. It's a really exciting time in the tunnel. It's where spring is meeting summer. We've got crops growing from last season, and then new crops are just going in ready for the coming season. So I've got lettuce here in front of me that's been keeping us going since last October, which I'm just about to take out. And then I've also got tomatoes that I planted yesterday that are going to be ready hopefully in July.
It's a site that people were maybe quite surprised that you decided that you were going to grow vegetables on.
It's definitely marginal land, not ideal vegetable growing conditions, but it was the land that Henry, my partner, who I farm with, and I had available to us. I was farming at a community farm in London, and then Henry and I met. We worked on other farms. We went to Australia, worked on larger farms, smaller farms, and then probably in hindsight not ready, but we thought we'd just jump the gun and move back to his family farm and use a bit of land there to try growing veg ourselves.
It is an acre or just under an acre of land that's incredibly productive, right?
Yeah, so we produce onto retail value of about 40 or 50,000 pounds of vegetables off under an acre of land.
What would you say are the challenges of being a smaller farm?
Investment is really high in farming, no matter your size. But if you're on a smaller scale, it takes a bit longer to make that money back so you can reinvest and keep improving your farm. However, we did choose to be small. We could have used more land if we wanted to, but we decided we wanted to farm to try and build a really healthy ecosystem and a healthy soil. So we then chose to only use hand tools at Down Farm.
Tell me about your customers. Tell me about the market.
We go to 2 farmers markets. We have a really small box scheme of 15 people, and then we sell to a couple of local shops and restaurants, all within approximately 20 to 30 miles of the farm. But we have had to change in light of the corona pandemic, and we've changed to we only sell to one local shop who's still open, and we have opened our own online shop, and we're selling to about 60 or 70 people, and they're all within 5 miles of the farm. Even if 10, 15 of these customers who have been using our online shop stay with us, that would be fab.
Olivia James in North Devon. But how big a part can tiny farms like Olivia's play in our food system? Well, the Ecological Land Cooperative says they're the future. It buys agricultural land and then divides it into small holdings, gets planning permission for a house on each one, and then sells or rents the plots at well below market value. The idea is to allow new entrants into farming without the need for huge capital. Director Alex Laurie spoke to Anna Hill.
Globally, most food comes from small holdings, and it's well understood that the productivity per acre on small holdings is actually superior to that of larger farms. Now, it's true that in recent decades there has been a preference among policymakers for larger farms so that you can deploy more mechanisation and so that landowners can get greater return on their capital. But we think that the times are very much changing in our direction, and the concern these days is for productivity improvements without a lot of chemical and fossil fuel inputs, and for livelihoods and local economies that are not orientated towards rewarding land ownership, but rather orientated towards rewarding production. And particularly production of high quality food with the kind of nutritional value that I think is lacking in a lot of people's diets. So we think that these small holdings, with their high attention to quality, their focus on low impact and working with natural systems, and the high productivity per acre, really do represent the future of farming.
The coronavirus pandemic has already had a big impact on our relationship with food, hasn't it? Do you see that having an impact on your projects?
Absolutely. I think there is undoubtedly a huge concern growing globally that with the lockdown happening in so many countries, there will be a huge impact to food production, and local food security is going to be more important than ever. So we really want to make a good contribution to that.
Alex Laurie from the Ecological Land Cooperative.